Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This. I have an update on a work in progress for Lightfast testing that I want to do on my own so I can have these at the ready for anyone who is interested in what the Florida sun does to colored pencil projects that you may want to hang on your wall. So here's what I've got. I've decided to start with a control group. This is all going to go up tomorrow. I have planned to do a weekly update for the Color Me This channel, as well as for my coloring group that I'm going to get started with, probably starting as early as September if I can get everything lined up. So far things are all looking good for that to happen, and I want to have at the ready some samples of what the Florida sun will do to the various pencils. So my control group is, I will share with you what we've got. I picked 2 sets of pencils that are professional pencils that I have extras for people to explore. Here, let's move this back a little bit so you can see the whole page. So I have a 24 set of Polychromos coming, and they are not here yet, so I pulled from my own stash to be able to put together these colors. I did not do a couple of them. I didn't do white, and I didn't do the dark. It was the warm gray 5 because I thought that the poly black was enough to tell us what the behavior would be, and then 271 is warm gray 2. I am out of room, or I would have put the poly white at the bottom. I actually didn't think I would have any room for the blacks, grays, and whites, and after I pulled from my Derwent Lightfast stash the 12 set colors so that we could have some actual, this is what, if somebody wanted a sampling of them to try, this is what they could get. And I do have extras of those for people to explore and do a quick test with. And so then I have the Prang 2 different ways. So this is the Prang. I went ahead with, of the 50, I went ahead and did 43. The others that I didn't bother with were the silver, gold, white, and the 4 neons. I'm already going to think that those oddball colors would not behave well in the light. So I have a fixative version, and I still might change my mind before tomorrow and add the last colors. So here's the fixative version, and then this is the natural version. And just for giggles, I pulled, I'm not sure how often I will have these 3 brands of pencils together, so I pulled a yellow and a green so that we can do some comparing of what the differences are. So the first thing I want to do is just color with them. What's interesting is the barrel size appears to be the same between all 3 brands, and according to the documentation, where's the pen? The Prang core size is 3.3. The Poly core is 3.8. And the Lightfast core is 4 millimeters. And from there, I thought it would be fun to just try them. I've already been coloring with these today, I made this all the swatches at the same time, starting with the polys. Then I did the Lightfast, and then I did the Prang. So the polys have a silky feel, and they go down very vibrant. In the middle here, I'll put the Prang. The Prang is lighter. It doesn't have as much pigment, of course, and it has more of a dry, not a scratchy. It's a little noisier, but it is definitely, you can feel the drag. This is just regular old, 20-pound copy paper. So I still feel that the Prangs, for the price difference, which we will go over that next, feel okay. And then the Lightfast, they have a little bit, the best way that I have always thought of the Lightfast is a little bit of this on the stickier side. They don't have a silky feeling. They feel very pigmented and very creamy, almost to the point of being sticky. So those are the yellows. And then I picked the closest to the same greens from the 12 set of the Lightfast, the 24 of the polys, and the 50 of the Prangs. This one I can tell is would be the whole light layering to get the full pigment. And it doesn't quite feel as silky as the yellow. And this is the poly. So that is about as vibrant as I can get it on cheapo paper. Let's see now what the, oh, and the barrels. So the barrels match really well with the polys, and the green is very dry feeling on the Prang. I feel like I want to rotate the lead to try to control and encourage more pigment to go down. And I think that's about as much as I'm going to be able to get out of it. But it doesn't feel scratchy. Because the barrel size is the same, I have pretty much identical between all three of them. Maybe the Derwent Lightfast is a tad bit thicker. The Prangs don't feel cheap to me. They have a nice, heavy, glossy finish to them. Oh, and then let's look at the barrel. Definitely not a match. Because this, to me, if it's a pine green, this color is very dark olivey, and that's not the color that it's coming out. All right, so now we've got the this is mallard green. And it's still, it has a little bit of a drag to it, a little bit of a sticky feel. But they just, when I tell you the price difference, it just doesn't feel like they are that much different. But you definitely get way better color. And of course, you get the Lightfast ratings for the poly and the Prang. And let's see, this is pretty dark. So it's hard for me to tell. Let's put it up to more direct light. I would say that the barrel in this case is still darker than the tip. So the best match is the Polychromos, matches really well. So now, what are the prices? So for the polys, for a 24 set, I think that the current price, this is all Amazon pricing. The current price is a very good price, I think. I always thought of polys, when I buy them singly at Blick, they're like $2.62, I think. And right now on Amazon for the 24, it's $27.61, which is $1.11 a piece. The Prangs for the sets that I have on Amazon, which is not what I paid far less. But that was like a one-off deal at the Dollar Tree, and they are long gone. So I think it's more reasonable to use the prices that of what you could actually get. And it is actually an overall pick, according to Amazon, and they are 50 for 5, 57, which is 11 cents each. And the Lightfast is a 12, and when you buy 12 of them, they are $34.89. $2.91 each. And I actually have, for the circumstances on how I got the Lightfast pencils, I ended up getting a really good deal on 72. It was just way cheaper to buy the 72, and then right after that I found a really, really good deal on the 100 in the box, the wood box, from a place in Oregon, the Merry Artist. So I ended up with the wood box because I think that was the time when they were just coming out with the tin, and at that point they did not have the 100 in a tin yet. So when that happened, the Merry Artist must have wanted to unload the wood boxes. So I have my beautiful wood Derwent case on display. It doesn't have the pencils in it. They're actually in my big tote. So $2.91 is probably far more than what I ended up paying for either the 72 or the 100 actually. So I just thought that would be fun to do. So I'm comparing this pencil at 11 cents a piece to the $1.11 and the $2.91. And I still think that the Prang is just a perfectly fine, well-made pencil. I just have no problem with it at all. Because I'm used to the more pigmented payloads of even the economical pencils. I've been testing out the China pencils. That's the only weakness the Prang has, but it actually is a nice feeling pencil, and you can get more out of it by using a colorless, the blending pencil helps to get more pigment out of it. But I think for people just learning how to color, to just have a good coloring experience without the burden of the heavy price point, I think that the Prangs are just fine. So I thought that would just be a fun thing to do while I have them all out. I am going to put all 3 of these in my front door window. I have 3 window panels. They are stained glass, but clear with some patterns to it. And I will put them in the same general vicinity in one of the 3 panes. And I will test once a week, so it's going to go in tomorrow. Well, I'll put them in tonight. And then in the morning, they will get the morning sun, which is about 5 hours of direct morning sunlight in Central Florida, on the coast, on the eastern coast. And then they will have sun all afternoon till maybe 1, I would say. And then about after 1, the sun is over our roof and they won't get kind of the ambient light anymore. It will be quite shadowed. So I will be testing, doing a report once a week on that. And then when I start my coloring group, I will already have results so that I can strongly urge people who are coloring with these Prangs to evaluate what they want to use their projects for? Do they want to give them as gifts? You know, because if they do really want to give these to people, they can go with a fixative. I will have the results of the fixative, so we'll know how well the fixatives work. Or they can opt for, say, a small set. Probably Polychromos would be the most reasonable priced small set. Very few people probably could justify the Derwent Lightfast pricing unless they, you know, want to get into doing um, any artwork that maybe they sell or commission. But probably most people coming to color here in the community will be far from even considering things like that. So that is what I've got working, what I'm working on right now. I am almost finished with the Starjoy golds. I have to do a coloring project, but I've done, I think I did 4 swatches 4 different ways, and I have done color combinations that I used the Artex, some of the Artex color combinations that I already showed you, and tried to replicate the Artex vividness in the Starjoy golds, and I think you will be surprised. This is episode 16. That's all I've got for today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns at all about the whole Lightfast testing, if you have any experiences with Lightfast testing, let me know your thoughts. I do plan on taking, like, I'd like to do the Brute Funer squares and the colors, the Black Barrel. I have 2 sets of those, 120 set with a smaller core size, and then the 3.8 millimeter core in the 180. And I do want to actually explore those and see how alike or different they really are. I know the colors won't all match, but I suspect that there will be some colors that have the identical numbers, and then I'm curious what the laydown is of each of those. So those I would like to do some Lightfast testing as well. So that is my plan. Give me your thoughts, and expect to see an update next Sunday. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.